Hello, Wonder People. It is a delight to be back here in the studio with you for some more practicing positivity magic. We are on day 12 of our 100-day journey. It's Saturday. This is our Saturday sound off. So I'm Nicole Bossard, Dr. Nicole Bossard, and I'm your guide at the side here. I'm your partner in possibility. I'm your positivity champion for life. I'm your rise and ride partner. No need for anybody to ride or die. We can just rise and ride together as we focus on the work that we do here, the craft that we're here to hone, which is for us to cultivate intentionally, for us to practice those things that help us to nurture our own kind of energy, vitality, and zest for the LIFE. And what that stands for here in the studio is what fills our heart with love, what ignites our imagination and inspiration. What is it that gives us a sense of freedom, spaciousness, to, to live, to grow, to expand into life, all wrapped up, shaken together to create an extraordinary, exceptional experience of this thing we call life. So today, hey, we're back in here. It is Saturday. We are here for Saturday Sound Off. So remember, microphone check, microphone checker. This is just an opportunity for us to have a conversation. We'll deviate a little bit from our normal formula, but not too far afield. And we're just here to have a conversation that matters. Certainly, grab your pen or pencil, grab something to write on, something to capture, whatever begins to whisper to you, whatever resonates for you, whatever gives you goosebumps, whatever, as you just take a moment to settle in and remember how to pause, whatever you notice, go ahead and capture it, either on your screen if you're typing or on that paper in a journal that you can write on. So that said, I just want to invite you to consider the following here. I like coming in and bringing certain things. Like I said, it's a conversation that matters. And I kind of trip over some things sometimes. And I found this quote that really spoke to me this week based on my own positivity journey this week. And here it is. It's from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he says, "Use me, God. Show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do and use it for a purpose greater than myself." So I had to just kind of take a moment, and it really gave me pause because there's so much in these words. I don't know if he was praying them. I don't know if he was preaching them. I don't know if he was writing them from the Birmingham jail. I don't exactly know when he penned or prayed these or maybe preached these words, but they found their way to me right at a moment when it was like an igniter for me. Earlier in the week, I talked about kind of coming back, having spent some time with a friend that I hadn't seen in a while. And out of that conversation, I got reignited. I got reconnected to what it is that I'm doing here. Why this positivity? Why am I so committed to amplifying this message of positivity? Why am I a self-proclaimed evangelist of joy and positivity? And as I remembered why I wanted this work to get out into the world, I found this quote. I rediscovered it. And for me, here's what I wanted to unpack here, and feel free to put into the comments. First of all, as you look at these words, take them in. What stands out to you? And as I look, and I want to say something about this right now, I understand that this is broadcasting to YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook And so God may not be a construct or an idea that you resonate with or that you can appreciate. I don't want that to be a block. So I will ask that you simply substitute in whatever makes sense to you. So if it's not God, if it's not a divine force, if it's not a universal energy, perhaps it's just your own highest self. This would be a conversation worth having with your own highest self to say, hey, show me how. What I love about the first piece here is, there's a humility there. Show me how. I know I've got some good stuff going on. I know I've got some things I can build with. I know I've got some things I can build on. I know I've got some strengths, some talents, some skills. I know I've got what they call raw talent. But that first piece there, first of all, he says, use me. Use me. Let me be an instrument. Let me serve. And then he says, but show me how. Show me how. I know I've got all of this, but show me how to use it. Show me how to take not just the stuff that I've acquired along my journey of life, but show me how to use the stuff that's been put in me, the stuff that was graced to me. I didn't necessarily ask for it, but it just came to me. I was born with it. And then show me how to use those things, that what I want to be and what I can do. Show me how to use those things that I intentionally went out and added unto myself. But here was the kicker. He said, not just show me how to use it so I could be more efficient and effective. Show me how to use it for a purpose greater than myself. Show me how to use all of what you've given me to get beyond myself, to serve beyond myself, to be a gift beyond myself. And I just got so inspired because once I started to reconnect, for you all who have worked with me, not just as a coach, but also as a positivity strategist, I work in organizations that I come into organizations and work usually where there's a point of tension, there's a point of inflection. It's a little, as some of my friends down in Mississippi say, it's a little messy at the moment. And where I feel called, where I feel pulled, is to come into those places and spaces and to bring all the voices of that ecosystem into the room or into a room where they can remember what's in them. They can remember to all of what makes up who they are and bring forth the best of who they are to co-create a future that they're committed to. And so as I think and I connected to that purpose, I started to remember why positivity was so essential to that mission, because we need to know how to work this practice, these tools, these elements of positivity, these gifts that we've been given that we're all born with. We have to remember how to access them so that we can put them to work for us when it matters most, when the future's uncertain, when it's really dark and stormy outside and the visibility is at zero, when we may have been temporarily separated. The tether got real thin and long between where I'm at, what I'm doing, and that sense of greater than myself. Positivity, appreciative inquiry, all of those kinds of strengths based, or I won't say all of those kinds of strengths, I'll say appreciative inquiry, character strengths, positivity, understanding all the research that's coming out about gratitude and happiness. These are the things that help to put us in a mind where we can remember who we are, remember what's in us, and reconnect to why we're here, and then help us make sense of, because all of a sudden I can MacGyver some things together that I couldn't quite recognize. I couldn't see the connection before, but I get myself situated and rooted in these positive emotions, and I can calm down that fight, flight, or freeze that run, that flop or fawn response. And I can begin to come up into this is what I came to do. And I can take a little bit of that uncertainty, but I can connect it to a little bit of this faith. I can take a little bit of that experience and connect it to a little bit of this intention. And I can create a way forward. I can build my own raft that then becomes my own canoe, that becomes my own tugboat, that becomes my own little yacht, my little ship that I can ride the seas of uncertainty to safer shores. So what I see here in just these what, 3, 4 lines from Dr. King, I see, how do I get to all of that, Dr. Nicole? I see humility. I see, actually, the first thing that I see is a willingness to serve. Use me. If it's not God that you would say, use me, higher consciousness, use me, greater purpose, use me. Hey, sign me up, coach. A willingness to serve. Then I saw a humility. I don't need to come in here with the loud booming voice and my chest poked out and, hey, let me take charge of this thing. Let me show some humility first. Let me show some humility and come into the space and listen well. Be present enough to what's going on outside of me that I can pick up some of the energetic traces in the space, in the room, in the relationships, in the building, in the system, so that I have a chance to let that greater purpose whisper to me, hey, you could use this. Hey, we could work that. Hey, we can amplify this. They don't even see it, but we can amplify it and we can show them how. So much in this prayer, in this sermon, in this letter. All I can say is thank you, Dr. King. Thank you to the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for writing these words, or just making sure that somehow they got to us. They got to me right at the moment where I had started to feel like my purpose, it was getting away from me. This helped to anchor me back. So as we are thinking about, listen, this is just the Saturday sound off. And the conversation that I want to engage you in is that's how these words, what they started to turn over for me. But what I want you to think about is, when you think about this cause that's greater than yourself, what's one word that you could put to it that would trigger for you, that would kind of be a trigger to organize, to energize, to revitalize you, to restore you to a sense of confidence, to a sense of faith and faithfulness. Not faith as in religion. Faith is I am resolute in my commitment to. That transcends religion. That transcends where you go on Sunday morning or Saturday evening or how and wherever you worship. What's the thing that can begin to trigger off, like set off in my own mind and heart and body? Because sometimes, I can't quite put it all back together with the rational mind. And sometimes my heart is heavy, so I can't put it back together in my heart space. Sometimes I need something that can kind of trigger off where that thing sits in my physical being. Does it sit in my gut? Does it sit in my feet? Does it sit in my hands? But what's a word that I can put to it, this cause greater than myself, that can kind of set off the cascade to help to bring me back to that cause that's greater than myself? So I just want to give you, you know how we do, I just want to give you a minute. I just want to give you 30 seconds just to think through, to think for yourself, to jot down what might be one word I'd put to it. I'd put to that cause greater than myself that can set off that galvanizing, organizing energy to kind of bring me back in line with why, with my big why. So I'll quiet down. I'll watch the clock, and I have to pop back in here. I don't want you all to be caught up in purpose. I know for some purpose is I know I'm really throwing the bombs out. I know God is going might be a cause for pause for some. Purpose might be another, but I don't want either one of them to fetter you. With purpose, it doesn't have to mean the purpose of the next 5 lifetimes. Purpose can be whatever's going on right now that is that thing that kind of sits above the individual finite circumstances. What's that cause? What's that thing that sits above it all right now for you? And that purpose, Ben Hardy calls it a contextual purpose. It might be, I got to get my finances straight so I can have a place to live. That's my purpose right now. I got to make sure me and my family eat right now. Or I got to make sure that as I continue to take these next steps in my career, that I can reconnect with that energy and vitality that seems like I lost years ago. Whatever it is, even if it's the thing that's right here, that's sitting in front of your face, let that be the purpose that calls you forward. Take some time with it. Take 30 seconds with it. I'm going to pipe down and do some work here on my own, on my side with this. Okay. All right. I am going to ask that you, wherever you are, put a bookend on what you have there. And if it wasn't quite coming through clearly, or if you had a lot of things, write them all down. Write them all down. If you weren't getting words, but you were just kind of getting images, doodle some, doodles, some squiggles, or if you're an artist, draw. Whatever just allows that energy to flow out so you can see it more clearly, so that it can come out of the ethers a little bit. And the more that you can bring it down out of the ethers a little bit, give it some weight, some gravitas, so it can start to work with you. It can sit in you. It can work on you, and then it can work through you. So with that, I want to just leave you with the Saturday sound off. Remember, your purpose, no matter what it is, contextual or covering the next 5 lifetimes. Listen, your purpose isn't small. Your purpose is your superpower, one of your many superpowers. So as you go forward, I am just, I just am hoping that you continue to stay in this inner dialogue with yourself and looking for, where do you want to serve? What's that question? How can you come in humble, asking for a revelation of, hey, how can I take who I am, who I want to be, what I've learned, all I know? How can I use it in a new way to bring forth a new thing? So with that, I'll leave you with this. Let your purpose fly in action this week. And I'll see you. I'll see you soon. Remember, like, subscribe, share. We want to amplify that frequency of positivity. We want to raise the tide on positivity. That certainly does lift all ships. You can find me always at tgcconsultinginc.com. I am working fervently to get my tgcpositivity.com website back online. So any web gurus out there who are WordPress aficionados, hey, hit me up on the comments. Could use your brilliance. And of course, if you're interested in having tools, prompts, more quotes like this, that can help you up your positivity game and flex your positivity power, sign up at the link that you see below. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our 100-day journey. Be well. And I look forward to speaking with you soon.